What's up, guys? How you doing? So this one, I wanted to sort of talk about, what my story is, and how can I relate to others? And like, it's very good to sort of put myself out there, but it's very hard to sort of get people to know me if I don't sort of mention what corner of the world I came from and what brought me to this point. Like, I'm by no means there, in terms of a physical sense. But I've had a lot of experience in the past where, I've had a lot of setbacks and I had a lot of adversity that I faced, and I feel like I've really pushed through it. And that's the sort of experience I have to give. That persistence and that not giving up, is something that I hold very dear and something you can be very proud of when you go through like some struggle and all that sort of stuff. Like, you can feel yourself developing, and when you sort of come out the other side of it, you can become very proud of yourself and have a lot of pride in that. And I wanted to share my story with you guys. Like, I wanted to take you guys back to a story back. This really started when I was in primary school. So I was about 8 years old at the time, and I had this particular bully that I was, as I'm sure most others can attest to, at least one time in their life they've probably suffered at least one form of bullying. If you haven't, kudos, you'll have to teach me your secrets. And I was having a lot of troubles with this guy, and what happened was he gave me hell, I reckon, for about 6 months. He just wouldn't leave me alone. It was physical, it was verbal. Like, I couldn't escape, and I was scared. I honestly didn't know what to do. And I sort of talked to my dad and sort of told him some of the issues I was having. And Dad, being the Dad's very, very yielding. He's very soft in a sense where it doesn't mean that he's weak. It just means he understood where I was coming from and what I was feeling at the time. And he sort of saw the look in my eyes, and it was at a perfect time because the local karate school had just opened up. So what Dad did, he went down, he enrolled me. I had like a run of classes for every Tuesday night, I reckon, for about 6 weeks. And there was one time, like, it took me about 6 weeks to sort of get the confidence to be able to take care of myself. And what happened is, one day this bully came up to me again, like, of the very many times he did. And what happened is, basically he came off second best. And what tends to happen is, they tend to sort of befriend you after that. But that sort of just illustrates a point of, like, it's what you do that matters. It's not, the thing, anything that happens to you is like a calling. Like, I know, like, some of you that might be watching this may have suffered some like severe adversity at times, and understanding its meaning is very, very important. Otherwise it can cause you to lose faith. And this caused my faith to rise and my confidence to rise, and that sort of stood for that was part of my first one of my first growth experiences, or major growth experiences, was that particular time where I stood up and I said, no, enough's enough, and I stood up for myself. And I was very proud of that. So the next story I wanted to take you guys to was, we'll fast forward about, it was about 11 years, I was 19 years old. This was back in 2002. What actually happened to me was, this was my first full-time job. It was in a job that I wasn't really too keen on, but I thought I'd give it a shot just to see how it would go. It was a truck body making apprenticeship. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what it is, it's basically the truck trailers you see driving around on the road. We built those, and that's how I got myself involved in an apprenticeship there. And we were in a TAFE class, and this was probably about 6 weeks into my apprenticeship. And little did I know I wasn't the most skilled. I didn't consider myself like to be the most handsy person, like if that makes sense. Like you got guys who are good with their hands. I'm just not one of those guys. Like if you ask my wife, like if she wants a handyman, like I said, don't come to me. And what actually happened was, I was, you got grinding shields and that you wear for your face protection, and we'd actually run out of those. So what did silly me do? I grabbed the welding mask and put on a welding mask, and using an angle grinder, couldn't see where the sparks were going. All of a sudden I felt this warm sort of feel under my right arm, and I'm like, it's getting awfully warm. And so I looked down to sort of check out what it was, and my clothes were on fire. And I'm like, I tried to stay calm. I didn't panic. I had a jumper on, so I actually ripped the jumper off, threw it on the ground, and the shirt underneath me, which was meant to be fireproof, was on fire as well. And that's when shit really hit the fan. Excuse my French. And my TAFE teacher threw me on the ground, ripped my shirt off, and I was I actually blacked out between the TAFE room and the cold shower, where they went to run some cold water under me just to make sure I wouldn't blister up, and that it'd keep me calm before the ambulance arrived. And I didn't actually, once again, I didn't remember that experience, like going from the TAFE room to the shower. And anyway, like this was fast forward like about a week or so. Sorry, this is a bit of a tough point for me. It's something that is emotionally very tough to talk about because it was very painful at the time. And what actually happened was I had daily wound dressings for 3 weeks, like burns to 7% of my body. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the scar's healed up now. But if you look closely, you can see the outline of it. That was a 3rd degree burn. Underneath my rib cage here was a 2nd degree burn, and it was really excruciatingly painful. Like I never felt anything like it. And I had wound dressings change for 3 weeks straight, like every day at the doctor's, and it hurt like hell when they ripped it off. Anyway, we go towards, after that 3-week period, I went in for a skin graft operation, and where they take a sort of a bit of skin out off the top of your thigh and sort of attach it to the area that's affected. And I remember that being excruciatingly painful when I woke up too. I remember I was on painkillers for days after it. And what happened, I think it was about 6 weeks or so after the graft, 3 weeks, fast forward 3 weeks, after the skin graft op had happened. What I did, little did I realise, there was about 30 staples holding this thing in place. So what actually happened is all the doctors had to rip them out. I think they got about 15 in, and I was in tears. Like I was crying, I've never cried before because it was excruciating. And they end up sort of giving me a jab, and that sort of ended that. And after that sort of finished, we sort of fast forward about 6 months, and my right arm looked like Roger Federer's left arm. You've seen how skinny Roger Federer's left arm is because he doesn't use it, and he's got his right arm because he uses the tennis racket. And I had to join a gym. I had to get my strength back. I had to get my confidence back. It was all shot. I was going through massive depression at the time. I couldn't work. I was in a lot of pain. All that sort of stuff. And it sort of got to the point where I got in the gym, and that was where I found my calling, like I found my home. Like it felt very natural for me, it felt very easy to do. I know I started noticing results very, very quickly, and I remember sort of fast forwarding again about 12 months, and sort of with some solid work and consistent work, I started to get some good results. And I sort of thought, what if I sort of help people do this for a living, and do this, sort of help people, achieve the results I've achieved. And that's when the birth of becoming a personal trainer sort of happened from there. And that was back in, so fast forward to 2007, I got qualified. In 2007 through to 2009, I was working part-time in the fitness industry and doing some casual work on the side, just to keep my head above water. And it wasn't until 2009 where a lovely guy who is my mentor to this very day, we actually worked at Hungry Jacks together when we were 16, offered me a position at his gym to sort of take me under his wing and sort of teach me everything he knew. And I haven't looked back since. It's been a fantastic journey, and I'm sort of just getting to the point now where I'm starting to reach out to people around the world, and it's really, really cool. I've been getting replies from on emails saying how much people are sort of loving my content, and it's really touching. That's the really, really cool bit, is like I've come this way, and just sort of only starting to see what's possible is amazing. And as far as my own physical results go, like I'll talk about that in future videos, but I've, through a lot of inexperience, I made a lot of mistakes, and it's through those mistakes that I want to help people and teach them. If you guys like my story, feel free to shoot me an email, danny@savetheskinnyguy.com, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is the link below, or you'll probably see an annotation somewhere in this video. Just hit the link to that and it'll take you to the subscribe button for my YouTube channel. Take care, guys. I'll see you again very soon.